Hi, I'm Jeremy Moran for the Austin Film Meet. This is Moranic Moments. I'm here with Lex Lybrand. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Tell me what it is you do.
What I really want to do is direct. So I've directed 2 feature films. I've produced 4 at this point, and edited 5 or 6. So according to IMDb, I'm an editor first and foremost, because that's what I've done most. I'm kind of a one-man shop in a lot of ways. So I'm guilty of taking on more than I should a lot of the time, but that's fun. So,
What is the movie you're about to release?
Meet Me There is my 2nd feature film. It's a horror suspense film. Well, okay, it's a drama love story bumblecore film that's disguised as a horror film, and an excuse to show off WWE wrestling talent as dramatic actors.
I was gonna ask you about you cast a wrestler in this movie.
Yes.
Who did you cast and what did you see in him?
In Meet Me There, we cast Dustin Runnels, who most people know as Gold Dust, who's made a living being weird as hell, painting himself gold and feeling up dudes to get in their heads, and collecting championships. It's got a long history of just being an awesome wrestler. He's always been one of the more interesting guys on camera, so when we started thinking about name talent that we could get, somebody with 100,000 Twitter followers, when they talk about the movie, people are gonna click on the trailer. We were trying to figure out who we could get, and I'm pretty heavily connected to the wrestling scene in a lot of ways, so I see a lot of potential in a lot of the guys that people would probably just look over.
And it always seems that like wrestlers make really, really good actors. Would you agree with that?
Oh, not always, no.
I don't know, it just seems like from what I can tell, there is more like acting talent that is involved with wrestling than people give wrestlers credit for.
Yeah. A good wrestler is always a good actor. That's not always true in reverse. See David Arquette, former WCW champion, not a good wrestler. But Eight-Legged Freaks was pretty good.
Was he a wrestler? I didn't know.
No, he was just acting.
Oh, really?
He wrestled spiders, you could argue.
That's true.
I'd always kind of fantasized about taking wrestlers that I really admired and then putting them in totally different roles. And
was it intimidating at all to talk to him or direct him?
I think the biggest point of contention was whether or not he should grow a mustache for the movie. So that was the most intimidating thing, was telling a guy twice my size what to do in terms of grooming.
In my research, it kind of seems like you came to filmmaking from wrestling. Is that accurate?
No, I mean, I came as a person from wrestling.
Yeah.
I grew up in Tampa, where I went to the same high school as Hulk Hogan. I lived down the street from his parents, more or less. It's just one of those, like, I would see the Macho Man at the grocery store. It was a weird thing that's just I've always been one-to-one with. In more than one way, like, I just had my 30th birthday at WrestleMania 30, so it's always been literally one-to-one with my age and on my actual birthday. So that's interesting. It's been on my birthday 3 or 4 times, or the day before.
Nice.
So it's always been with me. But no, I was kind of a techie AV guy, just alongside that. Never related until the backyard wrestling boom. That's awful and nobody should do, but I did. I totally did.
What made you want to do film?
I got into like just AV production just out of kind of the tech interest. Like 2nd grade, I think, elementary school, I ran the morning announcement, like the morning TV show on closed circuit TV for my elementary school. I learned Hyper Studio and learned how to animate like lunch menus. That was always just fun and interesting to me. Like we had a PowerPC, Apple computer with web chatting, and that, like, nobody else in the school had access to that, but I get to chat with people. So stuff like that excited me, and that was in the same room with all the cameras and TV equipment. So I was like, okay, now let me play with all that stuff too, and I got to. So from a really early age, I was just messing around with stuff.
How would you say Austin supports you as a no-budget indie filmmaker?
I don't think I could have made either of my two first feature films anywhere that I know of for as much money as we made them for. Definitely not in Tucson. Definitely not in Tampa, which is turning into, in my experience, LA Light. It's everybody wants a cut of something, and I don't get that here. If I approach a small business and I'm like, hey, can I shoot here after hours? Or I get like, cool, yeah, what do you need? You guys want some sandwiches? Dude, how about some free beer? Like, that's really welcoming. And yeah, I think I kind of lucked out.
Austin is like the mecca for indie film right now.
Yeah, so in Tucson, we would hear this phrase over and over and over, like, we're going to be the next Austin. Like, that was everybody's goal. When I would go to local film meetups in Tucson, or like the art house, the Loft Cinema in Tucson is one of my favorite places. That's where the local film scene lives there. That's where all the awesome stuff is birthed out of. The phrase I would keep hearing there, though, is they're like, how do we become the next Austin? How do we do that? And I tried for a few years without really knowing what that meant. Like, yeah, let's do it. How do I help do that? And then I realized, like, why don't I just go to Austin? Like, instead of trying to bring the idea of this other thing here, and I'm guessing that's how a lot of people end up here, just cut the middleman out or stop trying to be the middleman.
You mentioned that your wife is also a filmmaker too. Just talk about that. And do you work together? Do you work on separate projects? Or?
Yeah, my wife is a writer-director. She just finished her first feature as a director. She wrote the script for my first feature, Summer League. We worked together. We work together well in a couple different ways, but never in the same room at the same time. Like, that never works out well.
Is it important for the both of you to have like a separate identity, or do you want to be seen as like one unit?
We're definitely separate identities.
Would that be your advice to other couples who want to work together, is to just do it separately and then just join it together later?
I think it helps if you both are invested at different levels or for different reasons, because then you're both going to really, really, really care about different aspects of it. So there's going to be something that she never wants to be touched or changed or altered, and if she cares about B and I care about A at that level, then we're fine.
Tell me about Summer League and what led to that. Where did you come up with the idea for it?
Summer League is Kelly's script, and it was her first feature script completed and produced. She'd started to write stuff. Like, I've never finished a feature script on my own, but I've written plenty of half scripts. So this was her first successful completed script, and the idea was just to make something that's quasi-personal, quasi-autobiographical, but just really about friendship and baseball, or in this case, softball, but the adult co-ed equivalent of baseball. And we're kind of cheating because there's no such thing as a bad baseball movie. So we wanted our first time putting something out there to have that crutch of like, you can't hate this, because if you do, you hate baseball and you have no soul.
So do you respond to like sports movies?
Something specific about baseball movies, and I use this joke a lot, but I'll use it again. Baseball movies that don't involve Matt LeBlanc have a 100% success rate. I've never seen a non-Joey from Friends with a monkey baseball movie that wasn't amazing. So it's the heartstring on me that always works.
What's your advice for people who want to balance professional gigs with personal projects?
Work as much as you can in your free time. I don't like just sitting around doing nothing on weekends. So if I can work 8 weekends in a row on a film and then edit for 20 weekends in a row, I don't even know how long it takes me to edit. But just always use your free time well. That's when stuff doesn't get done, is when you say, man, I wish I had time to do that. When you did have time, you just took a nap or binge watched Arrested Development instead. Still do that, but do that after you finish your thing.
What is your strategy for just kind of pushing through all that just kind of morass of what you have to do in order to achieve the nirvana of creative satisfaction?
Don't put your stuff on the back burner. Put it to the side sometimes, but keep it within reach. I think when people put stuff on the back burner, or it's like, that's the thing I'm going to get to eventually, that's when you become 55 and you're like, oh man, I could have been a filmmaker. If only things had gone my way. Like, just make things go your way.
Is there anybody working within the film industry in Austin who you really, really love and we really need to check out their work?
Danielle Plager, she was the lead in Summer League. She's the lead in Kelly's movie, Wind and Rain, or co-lead. She plays the ghost. Danielle Plager's really talented. A lot of the actors I've worked with. There's too many of them. Lisa Friedrich is a local comedian. She does a lot of stand-up, improv. She's a dramatic actor in Meet Me There. See her in whatever she's in. If she's singing somewhere. I don't even know if she can sing, but if she is, go see her sing. She's probably good at that too.
Where can we find you online?
So I'm at Greenless, Greenless. I'm at Greenless on Twitter, Instagram, greenless.com, Facebook/Greenless. There's meetmetheremovie.com. I'm all over the place.
And greenless.com, right?
Yes, greenless.com. You'll find everything if you just go there first.
Lex, this was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. This is Jeremy Moranic out.